The one habit. What if the one thing that's been holding you back is the belief that you need to do more to become unstoppable? Stay with me until the end of this video, because I'm going to reveal the exact micro-habit that the most successful, self-led women use. And it's not intensity, talent, or motivation. It's something far simpler, far more powerful, and shockingly overlooked. If you've ever felt inconsistent, overwhelmed, or like you're constantly starting over, this one habit will shift your identity, sharpen your clarity, and give you the kind of daily momentum most people spend their entire lives chasing. By the end of this video, you won't just understand the habit, you'll know how to implement it today in a way that builds confidence and forward motion no matter what season you're in. Before we begin, tell me, what is the one habit you're doing that may be holding you back? Drop a comment below. I promise, no judgment here. What if the habit isn't what you think? What if the habit that makes you unstoppable isn't discipline, confidence, or willpower, but something far simpler? Most people try to transform their lives with extreme routines. 5 a.m. alarms, massive to-do lists, complicated systems. But the people who actually rise, they don't rely on intensity. They rely on one quiet, powerful habit. Daily direction. Choosing one aligned action every day, no matter how you feel. Because intensity burns out, consistency builds identity. Daily direction teaches your brain, I follow through, I move forward, I honor my future. That tiny action might seem small, but it compounds into confidence, clarity, and momentum. You don't become unstoppable because you do everything. You become unstoppable because you do the right thing consistently. So ask yourself, if one small action could shift everything, why aren't you doing it yet? What's the one action you know would move your life forward right now? Comment below. What if you don't need motivation at all? What if motivation is the reason you're stuck, not the solution? We're conditioned by hustle culture and self-help feeds to believe motivation is the fuel of success. But motivation is unstable, unpredictable, emotional. If you rely on motivation to act, your life becomes a roller coaster of inconsistent output. The unstoppable people don't depend on motivation. They depend on micro-movement, that daily, minimum action that keeps you in momentum whether you feel inspired or exhausted. It's the habit of showing up, especially on the days you don't want to, because those days build identity, and identity builds confidence. This is why daily direction is the ultimate habit. It doesn't require motivation, it creates momentum, and momentum is stronger than any mood. So stop waiting to feel ready. Start building the habit that works even when emotions don't. Tell me in the comments, what do you try to start but only when you're motivated? What if your confidence problem isn't a confidence problem? What if your confidence problem is actually an integrity problem with yourself? Most people think they lack confidence because they haven't achieved enough or mastered enough. But confidence isn't built from external wins. It's built internally, from keeping the promises you make to yourself. Daily direction works because it trains your identity. Every time you complete one aligned action, your brain records evidence. I do what I say I'll do. That's confidence. Confidence is self-trust. And self-trust is built through repetition, not perfection. The reason you feel inconsistent isn't because you're weak. It's because you're trying to build confidence from results instead of habits. Results don't create confidence. Consistency does. So here's your shift. Stop trying to feel confident before you act. Act to become confident. Which promise to yourself do you break the most and want to fix? Comment below. What if big goals are slowing you down? What if your big goals are the very thing blocking your momentum? We romanticize massive visions, the perfect body, the dream business, the ideal lifestyle. But big goals without consistent action create pressure, not progress. And pressure leads to paralysis. Daily direction frees you from that trap by shrinking the goal into something actionable today. Not someday, not next month, today. You don't need the whole road. You need the next step, the one step that moves the needle. This habit rewires your nervous system from overwhelm to agency. It's not about abandoning big goals. It's about approaching them strategically. Small, powerful, consistent actions that accumulate like compound interest. You're not stuck because your goals are too big. You're stuck because your daily actions are too vague. One aligned action changes everything. What big goal has been sitting on your list for too long? Comment below. What if busyness is just avoidance in disguise? What if you're not overwhelmed because you have too much to do, but because you're avoiding the one thing that actually matters? Most people stay busy to escape the discomfort of meaningful action. They check emails, scroll, organize, multitask, all in the name of productivity. But busyness isn't progress, it's avoidance with good branding. Daily direction forces clarity. It makes you choose the one action that scares you, stretches you, elevates you, or moves your future forward, and do it first. When you anchor your day around that single choice, every other task becomes optional, not essential. Suddenly, you're leading your day instead of reacting to it. Busyness loses its power when you commit to meaningful action. So here's the question: are you truly overloaded, or avoiding the thing that would change everything? What's the meaningful action you tend to avoid the most? Comment below. What if you're not behind? You're just unfocused. What if you're not behind in life? You're just scattered. Most people aren't failing. They're fragmenting their energy across too many priorities, too many goals, too many expectations. When everything matters, nothing moves. Daily direction brings your power back by forcing you to decide what matters today. Not in theory, not in fantasy, but in reality. One aligned action creates immediate traction. It recenters you. It simplifies your path. When you stop trying to do everything, you finally have the bandwidth to do something meaningful. You don't need more time. You need more focus. You don't need a better plan. You need a better habit. Daily direction eliminates the illusion of being behind and replaces it with momentum, the only thing that actually moves your life forward. Where in your life do you feel most behind? Share it in the comments. What if momentum is your real superpower? What if your success has nothing to do with talent and everything to do with momentum? Talent is overrated. Motivation is temporary. But momentum? Momentum changes identity. Daily direction is your momentum engine. You take one aligned action today. Tomorrow, it's easier. Next week, it's natural. Next month, it's who you are. There's nothing more powerful than becoming a person who expects themselves to move forward. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds action. And action builds results. In that order. Once momentum becomes your foundation, you no longer negotiate with your excuses. You don't ask, "Do I feel like it?" You ask, "What's today's aligned action?" That's how unstoppable people operate. Not with intensity, with momentum. When was the last time you felt real momentum in your life? Tell me below. What if one habit could rewire your identity? What if a single daily habit could completely rewrite how you see yourself? Daily direction isn't just about productivity, it's about identity. Every time you complete your one action, you reinforce a powerful message. I am a woman who follows through. Identity isn't formed through big breakthroughs, it's formed through repetition, through the things you do consistently, not occasionally. When you build this habit, you stop seeing yourself as someone who tries and start seeing yourself as someone who acts, someone who moves, someone who executes. The world responds differently to a woman who trusts herself, And daily direction builds that trust one day at a time. Your identity doesn't change when your life changes. Your life changes when your identity changes. What new identity are you stepping into this year? Comment below. What if you could win every single day? What if you could guarantee a win every single day? Imagine ending each day knowing, without question, that you moved your life forward. Not by doing everything, but by completing one aligned action that builds your future. Daily direction gives you that win. It removes the guilt, the pressure, the "I didn't do enough" spiral that keeps so many high-achieving women feeling behind. One action equals one win, and those wins accumulate. You don't need the perfect day. You need one meaningful moment. This habit turns every day into progress, every week into momentum, every month into transformation. Winning daily isn't luck, it's strategy. What would a win look like for you today? Comment below. What if becoming unstoppable is a choice? What if becoming unstoppable isn't a personality trait, but a decision you make every single morning? Unstoppable people aren't special. They're committed. They choose the habit that builds clarity, confidence, and momentum. They choose daily direction. One aligned action done consistently turns you into a force. Not because the action is big, but because the commitment is real. You become unstoppable when you become trustworthy to yourself. You become unstoppable when you stop negotiating with excuses. You become unstoppable when you choose forward motion, even in small ways. This is not about perfection. It's about identity. It's about the woman you know you're capable of being and the habit that brings her to life. What decision are you making today that future you will thank you for? Comment below. So let me ask you this. After everything you've heard today, are you ready to choose the version of you who follows through? Because becoming unstoppable isn't about having the perfect plan, the perfect mindset, or the perfect timing. It's about deciding, right now, that you're done living in hesitation and ready to live in motion. You've seen exactly how this one habit works. You've seen how it creates confidence, how it builds identity, how it transforms pressure into power. One aligned action a day. One promise kept. One step forward, no matter what. If you commit to this, truly commit, you will not recognize yourself in 30 days. Not because your world magically changes, but because you do. So here's your final step. Drop a comment with the one aligned action you're committing to today. Please comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep living life limitlessly.